And it's Gordo here from Gordo's Games, and we're back for some content. And today it's a Marvel Snap profile. This one is more of a that I've just been playing into recently. Had a bit of fun doing so. It's an old favourite, very combo orientated, I will say. But let's get into it. But first of all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you know when this content goes live for you. And let's check it out. Alrighty then, here we are. So, as you can see by the title at the top, it is Hela. Now, this is an old-fashioned favourite. Now, I want to be completely honest. The reason I've been playing this more is because I did get a very nice variant that I'm just gonna show for a moment. Now, if any of you follow me on Twitter or anything like that, you'll notice that my favourite variants are Venomized ones. So, let me know if you've got any of yourself and what your favourite one is, because I'm always intrigued by these. But I got this and I kind of really liked it. I mean, I had to use my gold on it, but I'm okay with that. If I pick up a Venomized variant, I'm okay with that. But this is Hela. Hela is very combo orientated. If you don't see the pieces in a particular order, you don't really pop off. But that's why you have to be smart about snapping with this one. You don't just outright snap straight away if you haven't seen a piece like Invisible Woman or if you haven't seen a MODOK. Those two are your fundamental pieces. Outside of that, you can get away with things. But if you like to have a Hela in hand first and a MODOK, you kind of need to wait for that Invisible Woman. Otherwise, you're playing into a massive risk. Whereas you might have to use the Hellcow to discard, or you have to use the Colleen Wing to discard, and it's not always practical because there's a chance you can hit the wrong thing. So let's go through the deck. Morbius here is just amazing with MODOK. If you have a full hand, it comes out of nowhere. It's 2/0, so it's 2 costs. It's played down early. You've got more than enough time in this day. Your turns generally go. You don't really do anything until turn 4, 5, and 6. Realistically, you could get away. I will honorable mention. You could throw magic in here if you wanted to. So if you really want to extend out your turn and play to the point where you see everything, you could throw magic in here. I just haven't found the need to. But we're on Morbius because it's a good 2 cost. Invisible is part of our combo. I've seen people use the Lockjaw, and I have used it myself, and I will say it was jokes because the only game I played with it, I managed to Lockjaw Hela out on turn 6. So I Lockjaw threw down a swarm and bring out Hela, and I popped off, and it was just ridiculous. But that was like 1 in a million. Invisible just gives us a point whereas we can just keep things hidden. Most people know what you can do by this point, so just keep that in mind. But if they haven't got the answer to it, it's fine. We'll just ignore that. If you have Enchantress, if you have Cosmo, then just be mindful. Swarm, overall great card. Reason we like it is if we do manage to get this down at some point and then use Swarm on it, we're going to give ourselves more cards in hand, which means when we MODOK, it's going to give us more things to spam out, and it's going to give us more swarms in hand off the back of that. And then if we go into this one, discards loads of cards, just a heads up. Then this also helps Dracula. Now, obviously, we don't want to have a swarm in hand just for Dracula to prop from, but you know, if that's the way it works out, that's the way it works out. If it comes a 4 cost 3, nothing fantastic. Most times you're gonna end up with Apocalypse in your hand, so we can at least get something going for it. But we don't mind like a little bit of board spam. If the worst was worse, you can play this into this point, whereas you just fill a lot of spaces with Swarm, and then just play whatever big body you can down on turn 6. We're on Hellcow, discard 2 cards from your hand. We have to be very careful with these things. So there's not a lot of discard in this deck, ironically, because you don't want to just randomly discard your hand and play into the RNG. It's like, oh, if I do this, it might not hit my Hela. It always hits your Hela. No question, it always hits your Hela. Every time. I've looked at it and I'm like, oh, there it goes. I was literally about to start singing There She Goes. Okay, that's the me ahead now for the rest of the day. Great. On from there, MODOK, MVP. If you're running a Hela build or any kind of discard, this card puts in so much work. It's a no-brainer. You do kind of need it for discard. If you can play it without it, it's just not as. I don't think it's got as good late game turns or tempo changes. So it's a very good card. Obviously, Hela's Hela. Just on reveal, resurrect all cards discarded from your hands from random locations. Yeah, it's just that's what Hela does. Apocalypse, no brainer for discard. Every time you discard it, gets +4 powers. This is never going to be discard, it's always going to be in your hand, which is the aim for Dracula. And then we've got our 3 big bodies to go along with that. So we have Magneto, moving 3 or 4 class cards to depose to this location. Gives a little chance to move things around. Don't get me wrong, this has obviously made me lose on occasions, but you know, otherwise it's 6/12, it's a decent body, it has disruption, so you know it's worthwhile addition to the deck. I might have a look in a second just to see if I can give you an honorable mention it's in its place. Probably something like a Hulk or something like that, maybe. Infinite 620, no brainer. If it comes out, it's a 20 cost. Not many things can contend that. Death, 8/12. It's decent stat line. Yeah, that's just the reason we run it. Let's have a quick look. Power, blah 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 blah. Not that power. That power. You can run Giganto if you didn't want to run Magneto. I think that's realistically it. Helicarrier doesn't work for this deck because you want to try and empty your hand, and this is going to put things in there that could be random things you don't want to see in hand. I don't really think it's needed. It's kind of overkill at that point. So yeah, Giganto's in there. You can run that over the Magneto or over the Death, completely down to you. But overall, that is the deck. So let me know your comments, let me know your thoughts below. As I said, if you have a favourite randomized variant, or let me know what your favourite variant is. Let me know in the comments down below, or let me know on Twitter. Alright? And I will catch you next time.